All right, welcome everybody. We're going to do another part one, part two video. Still in Scottsdale after yesterday's adventuresome approach. I learned my lesson. I'm not going to tinker with the flight plan anymore in flight until either I learn how to use it better, although I thought I was using it correctly, or they work out some of these bugs where the act of changing something to your flight plan in flight causes the plane to start doing crazy stuff. So we're flying where today? Well, you might be wondering. We're flying from Scottsdale. Where, by the way, what a beautiful day in Scottsdale. 72 degrees and mostly sunny. And we're KSDL, Kilo Sierra Delta Lima. And we're flying, don't ask, to Spokane, Washington, where it's 39 degrees and cloudy. But I'm determined to find some snow, so that's part of my reason. And I'm told weather forecast has snow for tomorrow in Spokane. So anyway, let's get up on the flight deck and let's get started on this beautiful Arizona desert day. Let's fix our camera as always. I wish I didn't have to do that every time. That's a pain. All right, so we'll go and do our standard procedure here where we do our batteries, generators, APU generator, external power. That's interesting. It says unavailable. Maybe it's the airport. Anyway, APU. Get that fired up. Still not screwing around with ATC, but we are flying at 44,000 feet today. So we'll go ahead and put that in the altitude selector.
TAWS system test. Okay.
Love that guy's voice so much. Okay, and then we'll set our VS 3500. And we'll do our speed from FMS to manual. Set it at 195. Looks like pushback's happening. You can see they're starting to move. That's fine. We're going to need it in order to get a pushback from this huge building here in front of us, this hangar. 100% on the APU, so we'll start the right engine first. Right engine's going to spool up here now as we speak. Set nav source to FMS, bearing 1 GPS. Speed bugs, VY, 195, that's what I do. Got to make little changes because of some quirks in the sim. Minimums, well, we don't need to do this now, but we might as well since I just clicked on it. Minimums at Spokane are 2385, so we'll go and do that. 2385. And we'll do the ILS frequency and stuff when we get up there, when we get closer. It's a 879 nautical mile flight. Expect about 2 hours. Option 2 on wind. Get our recognition lights on. Anti-collisions. Wait for that. That right engine is just about started. Looks like we got pushed back. Do a notch of flaps. Right engine started now, so we'll start the left engine. Okay. Switch over here. Have our timer ready to go, but we won't start it yet. And just check our startup checklist here. Make sure we've got what we need. Flight directors. Pitot heat. Not going to need it yet on this flight, but you never know because we are going somewhere where it's 39 degrees and cloudy. Looks like everything else has been addressed. So, make sure I did do the flaps. So now the left engine's coming up. Just about ready to go here. Zoom in here on our MFD just so we can see the airfield a little bit better. Very short taxi today. We're taking off from this runway right here. Runway 3. Same runway we landed on yesterday. So we're just going from here over to here. Very quick one today. Plenty of gas on board, 970 gallons. More than enough to get us where we're going. I wanted to take off on runway 22 because the winds appear to be from the west-southwest. Not strong winds, but winds nonetheless. nonetheless. But I checked the setup page, and it kept defaulting to runway 3, and I also noticed another aircraft that was on final, another user who was on final, and he was headed towards that same, he was headed towards runway 22. So you'd think that that would mean that I would also be taking off from runway 22, but I don't know what to tell you. You see right here, taxi hold short runway 3. Now, could I force the issue and put myself on runway 22? I could, but then I don't get to do the taxi procedure and the startup procedure, and the sim does all that for me, and I don't like that, A. And B, it's also bad manners. I mean, you can imagine if you're on short final to land at runway 22 and all of a sudden another user spawns into existence right on the runway as you're just about to land, it would be irritating. So, you know, I wish they had like an option. Select another runway for takeoff or something. I know they do for landing. But anyway, it is what it is. So, let's see if we have any arrows. I suspect we do. Yep, we do. So, did that mess us up? God, just the act of going outside screwed up our cameras. Okay, let's go. Oh, let me sync our altimeter. 3007. Okay. Let's get set up. Well, at least we don't have far to go. It's one good thing about taking off from runway 3. There's taxi lights on, dummy. Alright. Nice day. I would not mind. Well, other than the fact that Arizona apparently is like a hotspot for the world for COVID, I wouldn't mind being in Scottsdale right now. Okay, so we'll stop here on our hold short bars.
Approaching runway 03.
We've gotten our takeoff clearance, I see. Clear for takeoff, runway 3. Switch over to our, turn off our landing lights, turn off our taxi lights, turn on our landing lights, turn on our pulse light. And let's taxi out on the runway, make sure nobody's on final from either direction, since apparently it's a free-for-all. Thunderdome here in Scottsdale, thanks to the sim. All right. Let's see where we're going here. We're going to turn into the north. So a left turn after takeoff.
Approaching runway 03. Entered runway 03. 8,200 feet remaining.
8,200 feet's plenty. Plenty. I've taken off from Scottsdale now several times, both in the TBM and now the Longitude. So, not expecting any drama, but I probably shouldn't say that. Famous last words, right? Okay, we look properly lined up. And we'll go ahead and start our timer. Timer started. All right, let's roll. Let's get this back. Here we go. Thought I heard a little power fall off there for a second. There is a 4-knot tailwind. 60 knots. Airspeed is alive. 80. 110. 130. 140. 150. And rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. Autopilot's engaged. Auto throttle. Good. Heading bug synced. Let's get that speed up a little now. Switch over the FLC. Set 240. For climb out. Now, if it were easy, everybody would be doing it. Okay, we'll zoom out on the MFD now. Get ready to start making that left turn. Beautiful. Screenshot. Flaps retracted. Okay. Let's turn left. Drives me nuts. There is a way around that, is to turn off head shake mode, but I don't want to turn off head shake mode. Head shake mode makes it feel more realistic. Turn to 300. Those landing lights off. Already through 10,000, almost 9,600 feet. Just increase our FLC selected airspeed 290 if I can ever get there. See, we're monitoring this as we close in on this magenta line. I'll switch over to nav mode from where we are now, which is heading mode. Reconfirm gear up, flaps retracted, landing lights are off. Zoom in a little bit actually. We're at 35-mile range on the MFD right now, so we'll switch that to 20. Okay, we'll go ahead and engage nav mode. Start that right turn to intercept. Final parting view out the window. Nice golf course. Give me that horizon. You gonna get it? Not quite. Try it for this. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Alright, that was a nice uneventful takeoff. Just the kind I like. Pass through transition altitude here in a second, so we'll wrap it up with that. Check in with part 2 as we're getting ready to land in Spokane. KGEG, Kilo Golf, Echo Golf. Until then, stay safe and happy travels.